Without this document, how am I setting my team up for success? I've been letting my team down until I've made this document and I've given it to them now. I've been letting them down. Hey team, Watto here. I am building this from the ground up, one take, no reshoots, just real talk from wherever I am at, which is in Perth. I've just flown in from Brisbane to Perth. It is 1 a.m. Brisbane time or 11 p.m. Perth time. So these videos are all raw on purpose because confidence and impact come from showing up, not being perfect. If it helps me, it might help someone else. So just thinking a lot about our NeuroLead journey and being on that journey now for well over 2 years and starting to build a team up and spend a lot of time doing a lot of online learning, listening to the best, and they talk about this stuff called culture, and culture isn't necessarily things that are written up on a wall. It's the behaviours and the actions that we see every day. And in a lot of the work that we do, we talk about the power of values-based leadership and having aligned vision and mission and purpose, and that in a sense aligns decision making, because if we don't know what our purpose and our vision and our mission are, like, how are we actually making decisions? And the decisions are actually made based on what we think is the right thing to do, and that's not necessarily aligned with the company's broader vision, mission, or purpose. And you can probably hear that I'm slurring my words a little bit. I'm going to try and really pronunciate. It's just I'm getting tired. And I thought, because I'm doing 90 videos in 90 days, I cannot miss a video, which is lucky, because if I was recording this in Brisbane, it'd be tomorrow. But it's not tomorrow, it's today. So I'm not going to stop my streak of 90 videos in 90 days. So in a sense, understanding that NeuroLead has pretty much been built and created from the way my wife and I turn up. Like, the way we turn up has built NeuroLead to the way it is. It's the brand, it's the feeling, it's our purpose, our vision, our mission. Everything is, in a sense, my wife and I. So we started building our team earlier this year, where we onboarded 2 coaches. Not long after that, we brought on another coach. And not long after that, we brought on 4 interpreters. And we've got some exciting news around the corner next week, which will let my subscribers in. I think I've got 25 subscribers now. But recently we've done a lot of work. So we've partnered up with a new accounting firm, new bookkeeping firm, and a new financial advice service. We've started the recruitment on a new team member, looking at maybe general manager. Hopefully they'll be finalised in the next couple of days. And also we're looking at growing as well. So how can we as founders and directors of the company, my wife and I, really shape how people consistently turn up? We just can't assume they know, because it's been my wife and I for the last 2 years. So unless they've been working side by side with us, it's going to be pretty difficult to tell. So in a sense, what we created this thing called a performance blueprint. And the performance blueprint is, in a sense, a document helping our team and our new team understand how they need to turn up, in a sense, to land that feeling, that branded feeling, which I spoke about in the last video, where we add value and exceed expectations every time. So I just gave it to 2 of the coaches, Mick and Steve, on the way over here, and I asked them for candid feedback, in a sense, to help shape how they continue to turn up, but anyone new coming into the team as well. And to them, it made complete sense. So the blueprint itself has got, your role description, it's got purpose. It's also got a statement around, if this doesn't fit, that's okay too. This isn't a one-time read, so we often do a lot of work that you can't remember more than 7 things at once. So we create a list, and in a sense, this is a document that they keep revisiting. And the more they read it, the more it imprints. If they're ever unsure, they stop and seek out help. So if anything doesn't make sense in this document or anything they're doing in work, we're providing them that avenue to stop and seek out help. But also it's understanding that this isn't a rule book. This is a guide, because the work we do is incredibly dynamic. So if we can, in a sense, use this as a guide, that's going to help us turn up. Then we've also got our purpose, our vision, our mission, and our values. But what I like at the bottom there, they're values-based behaviours. And I find that really makes a difference. So this is something like one of our values is own it and live it. So we just don't talk about our values, we can recite them. And if you can recite your values, then you're going to use it with your decision making. But if you have to carry around a bit of paper all the time to remember what those values are, you're not necessarily going to be able to draw on them when you need them the most. Then the document goes into mindsets and behaviours and also presentation standards. So doing a lot of work with the brain and how brains work is really important to understand this thing called halo bias. So halo bias is, in a sense, how you turn up initially is going to create a perception. People are going to have a perception of you when you walk into the room. So it's really important to keep that perception or that standard very, very consistent, professional, neat, tidy. So when we walk in, people aren't, in a sense, going through these objections in their head about they look sloppy, they're not wearing the same things. Like we want to walk into a room with a sense that we are incredibly professional. Then we talk about behaviours outside of boot camp. And then we go through the planning and execution stages of a boot camp. And then we also go through the closeout of a boot camp, but also just closing out the document in general. So to be honest, I'm pretty happy with it. As revision 1, it's not concrete. I've asked the guys for candid feedback. I don't necessarily want to know what they like about it. I want to know what would make it even better. Because this is, in a sense, going to start shaping the way people, when we onboard them, this is really going to help them understand how to turn up. Because we want to, in a sense, turn up. And this is where I've had a real chat with the guys. Like, I don't want them being me. I want them to be the best versions of their selves, which is, in a sense, shaped by our values and our values-based behaviour. I don't want them to be me. I don't want them turning up to these boot camps and leadership sessions being a me. I want them to be them. I want them to bring their own brand, but also keeping in mind the purpose, vision, and mission and values. Like, that's what NeuroLead's all about. So, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with where it's at. I've proofread it a couple of times, so there's probably about 85 mistakes still in there, but it's better than nothing. So the challenge I set for you is that, also what I find as well is you got to be really careful when your team doesn't do something that meets your expectation. That's okay. And what I mean by that is that we often measure people based on the own expectation we have of ourselves, which is unfair to people because ego comes in and no one exceeds our expectations time and time again. So we've got to realise that they're not going to meet the expectation that we would have for ourselves. That's just like any human being. But we've also got to give our team clear guidance on how to turn up, because the vast majority of people turn up to work to do the right thing, and we need to provide them with something to help them guide that. And that's what this performance blueprint is. Like, this isn't KPIs or a development plan. It is simply mindsets and behaviours and how we need to turn up. And if you can't turn up like this consistently, we're not going to be able to achieve our vision, mission, purpose, which means maybe we're not the right company for you. But the team that I've got at the moment is fantastic and they're exceeding my expectations, which is great. But this is a great recruitment tool as well. Like, when you look at our purpose or our mission is to provide leaders with real advice from real people that has real impact. Like, that's a pretty good recruitment strategy. Like, that's a great way to understand who we want to bring into the team to, in a sense, keep delivering what our mission is, which is aligned with our vision, our purpose. And our purpose is to have a positive impact on the world, where we inspire people to make personal and professional change to hopefully achieve things they never thought possible. I like that purpose. All right, team, that's about it for me because I'm getting tired and I need some sleep. We have a massive day tomorrow. So that's it for me today, team. One take, no script, just real talk. If you're learning out loud like I am, let's keep it rolling. And if it hits for you, like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone Who needs it? So if you do not have a performance blueprint for your team on how they're meant to turn up and how they're meant to turn up in a way that imprints or has people feeling the feeling you want your brand to have, you are setting them up to failure like I was up until right now. Baby steps. But I'm confident in this document. I'm confident that the team keep focusing on it with me and I support them with it. We're going to be in a much better place, even better than we are now. Thanks for watching. The funny thing is, I know no one's even here. No one's even got here. I'm just going to hang out by myself for a bit. Check it out. What lighting's better? No one's watching.